Alright, but I promised you my review, and you will get that one right now. Let's start with the most obvious thing, the theme. The theme is absolutely amazing. I grew up in the 90s, born in the 80s, so cassette tapes were a big part of my life. And since music is actually my biggest passion, even bigger than board gaming, this theme just hits home for me. The box looks like an old tape player, and all the cards look like cassette tapes. It's full of that nostalgic 90s energy with a nice neon touch, and I really love it. By the way, I keep saying 90s in this video, but actually this game has like songs of the 90s and 80s, so just keep that in mind as I keep repeating just that one decade. I also really like that the game doesn't use just made up song titles, but real ones. It's such a clever way to make that nostalgic connection even stronger, and they did it without running into copyright issues, since there are no band names, just the song titles. That's a smart move, and it works perfectly. The reduction design is great overall, though not quite perfect. The retro aesthetic is spot on, but sometimes it gets in the way of readability. The colors and symbols aren't always perfectly clear because there's so much focus on the authentic 90s look. It's a small thing, but it's worth mentioning. But they color-coded a lot of things, right? So the different symbols here for the different genres have the same color. The cassette tapes on the left and right have like different colors, red and blue. So they did a lot of color coding to like be able to still have that nostalgic 90s feel, which is like very overloaded, which is like what the 90s are known for, but still you are able to like see where you have to place the cards pretty quickly, like once you get to know the game a little bit better. As for gameplay, I really like the I cut you choose mechanism here. There aren't too many games that use it well, and this one does. It works nicely, especially with the way you're building your mixtape by connecting the left and right sides of the cassettes. There's a very enjoyable puzzle at the core of it. You'll need quite a bit of table space to play though. Not necessarily wide space, but definitely vertical space, since you'll be forming these long columns as the game progresses. It's not a huge issue, but something to keep in mind if you play on a rather small table when playing solo. The rules are minimal and easy to teach, and you can get playing really quickly. It's not a game for complete beginners, I would say, but it's light enough that you can explain it in just a few minutes and dive right in. For a small game like this, that's exactly what I want. I also like that there are multiple ways to score, and that you have to carefully choose which cards to take while keeping your cassette balanced. That's a clever part of the puzzle. That said, the decision space is a little limited. I would have liked the game to go a bit deeper in that regard, and the scoring system, while interesting, can feel a bit clunky at the end. It takes a while to count up your score, especially for these genre sets. So in groups with less experienced players, someone more familiar with the rules might need to help a bit. Still, the game plays fast, it's easy to teach, and it works really well as a small filler game. Where I Made You a Mixtape truly shines though, is in its theme and implementation. Yes, I've already mentioned that, but I need to mention it again. That nostalgic feeling combined with the clever song choices makes it such a charming experience. And it can actually lead to a lot of table talk, especially at higher player counts. People start chatting about the songs they remember maybe, sharing memories, and just enjoying that 90s nostalgia together. There's even a matching Spotify playlist as mentioned at the beginning of this video, which is such a cool idea. Playing the game while that playlist is on in the background really completes the experience. The solo mode also works nicely, and I especially like the solo opponent Otto Ma, who looks just like the typical schoolyard bully, a real jerk. This is hilarious and adds a fun touch of character to the game. All in all, I Made You a Mixtape is a charming, thematic, and nostalgic little card game that captures the 90s mixtape feeling wonderfully. It's quick to play, easy to teach, and offers a fun puzzle wrapped in a beautiful retro package. Sure, some of these symbols could be a bit clearer, the scoring can feel a little clunky, and I personally wish the decision space were slightly deeper, but those are really minor points in what is otherwise a really well-designed and enjoyable experience. If you're looking for a light thematic filler that sparks conversation and memories, especially if you grew up with cassette tapes or love music in general, I can definitely recommend giving this one a spin. And to prove that I really like this game, I'm awarding this game the Silver Sir Thecos Ace of Games Award. I think it definitely deserves it, and I'm really glad to give it that recognition. This is a game that, although my review is now officially done, I will keep in my collection because I like the theme, I like the gameplay, and the solo experience is quite charming. Well, that concludes my playthrough and review of I Made You a Mixtape. A huge thanks to Mike DiLisio again for providing me with his review copy. Thank you all so much for watching and for sticking to the very end of this video. And as always, a special shout out to my amazing patrons. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. I truly appreciate that. You can support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, support me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me and my wonderful community. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video or my Discord server. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and cheers.